Welcome back. This is the third video in my SQL tutorial series, and we are going to continue from where we stopped the last time. Yeah, so let's connect to our SQL server using the L300 demo connection we created. Okay, so the connection has opened, and then we now have access to the workbench editor. Yeah, so the last time we actually created this general demo script, and then yeah, the database table scripts. Yeah, so we created the first table, that was the student table. Remember, we are creating a database for students performance information management system. Yeah, so this is the first table we have created, and then we are going to continue to create the course table and then the exam table. I'm going to put all the tables in one script, that is the DBL300 TBS, that is the table scripts. And with the general scripts, the first video we created the schema DB300, then we activated the schema using DB300, and then we learned how to drop the table and then also describe the table. So usually when we delete a table, we say we have dropped the table. Okay, and like we did in the second video, since we have connected to our server again, we will need to activate our DB300 database. You can see all the databases I have here, and none of them is active. So once I execute the command use DB300, DB300 will be in use so that we can create our tables. Okay, so now you can see our DB300 database is active now, and then we can describe the student table we created the last time. So you should remember that this time we are not creating the student table again because we created it the last time, so it already exists in the database. So let me execute the command to describe the student table. Okay, all right. So this is the student table we created. You can see the field names. So that is why I told you the attributes become the fields when you transfer your design to actual database. And then we have the data types here, the null type, the primary key, and then so on. Okay. So these are all the fields we created the last time. Now let's move to tables. So we have only one table, that is the student table. We don't have to execute this table again because it already exists. If we try to execute the table, they will tell us the table already exists. So when you have a table that exists, you shouldn't go ahead to execute it every time you open your workbench. Okay, so table student already exists, so that is the error message there. So now we can continue with the creation of our course table, which is the next entity in our students performance data base. Okay, all right. So create table. We are creating a new table called course. Yeah, and then bring in the attributes. Okay, so the first attribute in our course table should be the course code. So we can have our course code here. Yeah, so for the course code, we can use the integer data type. So integer, and then we can make it either system defined, or yeah, we can yeah, leave it say that we should provide the course codes ourselves. Okay, yeah, so but let's use the actual UPSA course code. Those ones we can use character because It's alphanumeric. So database like this, the course code is what? BITM what? 303. That is the course code of database. So if we are to go by that, character will be an appropriate data type because all the course codes are of fixed length, and then the size is what? 7. Okay, there is a space there, so let's make it 8 to be on the safer side. Yeah, so our course code is 8, and then we can indicate that yeah, should we make the course code the primary key? If we make it the primary key, it means yeah, we'll have to have what? I mean, unique courses to enter data. Yeah, so we don't want to make it the primary key. We can just say not null. Okay, so we are not making the course code the primary key. Okay, all right, now let's go on. Then we can bring the course title. So this is the course title. And then the data type, we can use variable character because I mean we'll have different courses that will have what different length. So varchar will be what an appropriate what data type. And the size, we are looking at what 100. Assuming that I mean no course title should be what more than 100 characters. So database management system, that used to be our course title. And let's move on to look at the semester. Courses are taken in semesters, so there will be a semester here. So we can use enumerate data type, and then we'll have what I mean the first semester. Yeah, so we just say first semester, and then what second semester. Okay, so that gives us the semester as well. So remember, we should end each of our columns with, or each of our attributes with what I mean, a comma, except the last one. Okay, so I'm going to the next one. The courses, they should have what? Instructors. Courses have instructors. So we just say instructor name. So we have our instructor name here. And then we are looking at the full name of the instructor. So we use varchar. Different courses will have different instructors, and they will have what different name, yeah, length. So we are going to say probably the first and second name put together. It shouldn't be more than 100 characters. Okay, so let's go to what the credit hours. Courses are in credit hours. Yeah, so we can put the credit hours here. Our courses are in credit hours. So yeah, so what will be the data type? So we can use integer because we may be using the credit hours for computations later. So that is int. And then we can have what yeah, so we can have let's see. Okay, so I think we can talk about the venue, okay, or the lecture hall. Okay, so courses take place in lecture halls, so we can just bring the lecture hall or the venue. Okay, so let me make it lecture hall. And then we can use character because our lecture halls are what I mean are having fixed lengths. The name of or the code of our lecture halls are fixed lengths. Okay, so I'm going to use a character data type here. So let's say and it's not more than what 8 characters. So let's put 10 to be on the safer side. Yeah. Okay, so we have our lecture hall. Then we should have what the lecture schedule. Okay, so we should have what the schedule. Yeah. So course schedule, maybe that would be better. Yeah, so course schedule, because schedule is a keyword, so we can use it alone. Yeah, so we'll say course schedule. Yeah, here it will be what date time. Yeah, so let's pick date time as the data type. All right, so then we can talk about yeah, courses are going to be what taken by students. Okay, yeah, so we can add the student what yeah, the student ID as what as an attribute of our course. Okay, courses will have what particular students taking those courses, so that is what the an attribute of the course. So let's what add the student ID. Yeah, so it should correspond with the student ID up there, and then if you check, there should be some consistency. So student ID, this is how I captured it over there. So, and the data type is what character, and then we are using what 8. Okay, all right. So this time I'm going to use a different style for our primary key, unlike the first and the student table, yeah, where I just added the primary key to what the student ID, but I'm going to do it in a different way in the course table. So let's see, what else do we need to add here? Yeah, so we have the lecture hall, we have the course schedule or the class schedule. Yeah, and okay, so let's see what else we may want to add. Okay, so yeah, we have added the student ID. So let me just declare the student ID as the primary key. Okay, so I'll just indicate this time primary key, and then we'll indicate what I mean student ID. So this is another way to add your primary key. Yeah, so primary key student ID. So let's just close that. And then this should be the last line. Yeah, I'll be putting the link later. So I want us to reverse engineer it, and then we'll look at the table. Then I'll come back to what I mean, add the this thing, the links later. Okay, yeah. So now let's just what end the table here, and then we'll what close the opening comma. We have some parentheses here, so we close it, the opening bracket. So then we'll add the delimiter, and then we are done with our course table. So I'm going to execute it using the middle execution button. Yeah, because we are executing what only one line, because I mean the whole of the course table is one line. So you can see from the line drawn from the create table to the primary key, that shows that it's one line. So let's execute that. Okay, so that is executed as well. But right now we can reverse engineer, and then we'll see that we have what two tables, but the tables are not linked. So after this, we'll create the exam table, and then we'll begin to link our tables. Okay, so I'll try to create the exam table in this same video. So let's go for the L300 demo link. So usually when you are reverse engineering, you should go for what I mean your link you used to connect to the server. So next, let's hit next, and then we are referring to the DB300 database that we created, and then hit next. Yeah, next, and then we'll execute it. Okay, so that is going to take some few seconds. Okay, that is done. Let's hit next, and then we'll hit finish. So now we have what I mean two tables, but to see the tables you have to drag the bird eye view to capture both tables. So this is the bird eye, yeah. So I'll just drag this table closer, and then I'll adjust the bird eye, and then now we have our two tables. So this was the student table we created first, and then the course table that I just created. So student table, course table, and then I'm using student ID as what the primary key in all of this. So now let's go back and then create our exam what table, and then what come to look at all the tables, then what I mean, yeah, establish links in a different video. Okay, so let's add what our exam table. So let's go here. I can put a comment here. So let's say so comment here, this table is going to collect It's going to collect student exam, exam records. Okay, so now let's close the comments and then we'll begin to create the table. So let's start create table exam, and then we'll bring the attributes of the table. So the attributes here will be what let's start with the exam code. Okay, exam code. So the exam code here, I'm going to use integer, and then we'll simply add auto increment. Auto increment. Okay, so let's say auto increments. Yeah, so this will automatically generate the exam codes for us. But if you have your exam codes, you don't have to add auto increments. Okay. Yeah, so exam code int auto increments, the system will generate the code for us. Then let's go to exam title. Yeah, so exam title will be here. Okay, and then the data type for our exam title, let's use varchar because exam titles are going to be of different sizes. And then I'm assuming that no exam title is more than 150 words or characters. Sorry, yeah, more than 150 characters. Yeah, so let's go to the next one. Then we can talk about the semester. Yeah, but since we can have semester information from the course, we may not have to put the semester information for the exam. Yeah, because they will share the same semester information. Okay, so now let's go to then the next one which will be um, maybe the examiner. Yeah, so we can have examiner. Yeah, so we can have varchar here, and then we'll say the name shouldn't be more than 100 characters. Yeah, and then we'll have the venue. Yeah, exam venue. Okay, then the exam venue is going to be our classroom, so the code will be fixed, or the venue address will be fixed length. So let's say character, and then our classrooms are 7 characters, so I'm going to use 8. Okay, so now let's talk about the exam date. So exam dates, so that should be underscore exam dates. Okay, so with the exam dates, we can use date and time. Yeah, or we can have exam time as well. Okay, so we can separate them. Yeah, exam date, exam time. Yeah, so that will be more flexible if we separate them. So exam time, and then we can talk about the duration, exam time here. Yeah, so the time, the data type, let's see whether we have timestamp, and then we have time. Okay, yeah, so let me pick the timestamp here. Okay, all right, so that is the exam time. Yeah, so we are picking the timestamp as our data types. Yeah, so still on exam, let's see. So the exam will be taken by students, so it means we can have the student ID as part of the attribute of the exam, because exam has students and student is an attribute of exam. So student ID, and then character, so it has to be consistent with the rest. Yeah, so we'll have our character size to be 8, and then we can use that as the primary key as well. Okay, so let's say primary key. Yeah, and we'll add what student ID. So this is student ID, and it has to be consistent. So this is the last one, and then we'll not add what this in the comma. So let's close the opening brackets, and then what add our delimiter. Yeah, so now we have what our exam table. Yeah, so later on, I mean, if we realize with what I mean miss out something, or we've left something out, and then we can what add it either by dropping the table and recreating it, or by what yeah, using the alter statement to what to alter the table. So we'll look at that in our next video. So I'm going to execute what the exam table. So we are using the middle execution button because we are just executing only what one line. So beginning from what the create table exam to what yeah, the primary key line. So we'll just execute it. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, incorrect table definition. Okay. Okay, so because we are using what yeah, auto, yeah, so that has to be the primary key. That is what the so we are having some semantic issue here. Okay, yeah, so since we are having what the exam code as auto incrementing. Anytime you are using auto incrementing, it should go with what the primary key. But I don't want to make it the primary key because I want the student to own the what the exam records. Yeah. So say that okay. So I think we can what make, so let's make it the primary key. Say that yeah, that way the students will still own the records. Yeah, but we can now have different yeah courses. We can have different different exams. Yeah, in this way. Okay, so let's say auto increment primary key. Okay, so let's try it this way, and then probably we may have to what even change the primary key. Yeah, because the primary key of the course table is what yeah, student ID. That's what we use. So I want it to be consistent, but you could also use course code as the primary key for the course table. But let's leave it this way and then see how it goes. So if there are any what modifications or adjustments we have to do, we'll do it accordingly. Yeah. So now I have to take off the comma at the end. So let's execute it once more, and then it goes. Okay, so now you can look at the output. We have successfully created our exam table. Now let's reverse engineer to look at all three tables: student, course, and exam. So we have what the L300 demo connection, which is the connection I'm using. So let's hit next, and then we'll select the database or the schema option. Let's hit next and next, and then we'll execute it. Okay, so let me hit next again and then hit finish. So now we have to drag the bird eye to what focus on all the tables. So let's see here. I'll bring the course closer. Then I'll drag the bird eye here to capture the exam, and I'll drag it upwards. Yeah, then let me now focus on all the three tables. So now we have all our three tables, just that our tables are not connected to each other. Yeah, so what we want to do next is to establish links between what these three tables. So I'm going to establish a relationship between student and exam, student and course, course and exam. So let's get we'll be doing that in the next video. I don't intend to make these videos so long. Yeah, so yeah, let's end this video here, and then we'll see you in our next video.